does Riomax cost? Good question. Many people want to see the price of something on the website before they'll ever pick up the phone and talk to somebody from the company selling that given product. We're all the same. If you go to a restaurant and you go online first to look at reviews and look at the menu, you'll be also kind of looking for the price. And we get that. Now, Riomax is hard to price because there's a lot of variations and different sizes, different packaging, US to Canada. There are some differences, but let me open this up for you and give you an idea at least. You're probably saying to yourself, why do people make it so hard to buy by hiding their prices? And I get that sentiment. So let me tell you up front, Riomax is gonna cost you between 2, sometimes 3 times the price of competitor products. When I say competitor products, I respect competitors. I'm not here to say they're bad and we're good. I'm here to simply educate, to help people understand why there are differences. So what I would say is we need to boil this all down to a common denominator. In other words, a cost per hit per day. So you as a consumer or a user of the product of a lick tub can determine what lick tub is the most economical, what lick tub is my best bang for my buck. That's fair questions. So what we focus on is in the rancher's best interest is bringing that cost per head per day down. So up front, 2 to 3 times the price, yet because we're so concentrated, it has a lower consumption. The consumption has a guarantee on it, so there's no risk, and your cost is, and this is a rough number, but between about 19 cents and 50 cents. So that's quite a range, and that's before any discounts, and that's US pricing. I just wanted to make it clear that here, it's at 1/8 to 1/3 of a pound consumption, and so you're looking at about 19 cents to 50 cents. Why does it vary, and when does it vary? Well, cows will self-regulate on Riomax. So if the grass is really good, they will eat proportionately less. If the grass is really poor, they will eat proportionately more. They will self-regulate. Cows have learned to self-regulate. They do it naturally. Humans still haven't got it figured out. But what we're seeing is a consumption between 1/8 and 1/3. 1/3 is your ceiling. That is where the COSTGUARD consumption guarantee kicks in. So that takes the risk off of the rancher's shoulders. Where we have ranchers that use Riomax year-round, they will typically see a average consumption for the year closer to the low side, closer to that 19 cents, closer to the 1/8 of a pound. And that is, that is what they're seeing is those cows will self-regulate, and because they're on a consistent plane of nutrition, they don't have the peaks and the valleys like this, like you do if you fed it for a few months and took them off of it again. So again, consistently across North America, we see the guys that are on it year-round have a much lower average, closer to that 1/8 of a pound. So again, in our we're striving to answer the questions that ranchers have, because that's what we've got to do to help you make the right decision. We look at ourselves as educators or teachers to help open this thing up for you so you can make decisions that will help drive the economic model of your ranch. We realize you have got to make money. There's got to be a ROI, return on investment, for you as the rancher. And so that's why we're opening it up and saying, look, here's our prices. It's going to differ depending on packaging size, US to Canada, so on and so forth. But here's some rough numbers. Now it's going to depend, but at least you know it's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 19 cents to 50 cents. Now I've done a lot of research on this, and I've heard a lot of numbers of competitor products where And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this, but they're typically averaging 50 cents up to 75, 80 cents or more, depending on the deal. And when guys have overconsumption, now this is a bit of a pain point. When guys have overconsumption with other brands that are not covered by a consumption guarantee, then suddenly, you know, if those cows would spike and eat 1.5 pounds or 2 pounds, now suddenly we're looking at $1.50 a day. Believe me, we hear these stories all the time, so we just want to provide you rough numbers, knowing that they safeguarded with our consumption guarantee. And we do invite you to call in and chat with us so we can get this dialed in more for what it will cost you. So again, that's the pricing deal. No, we don't have a price list on our website, but call in and we'd be glad to go over all these numbers with you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And sorry for any frustration that our website or any other websites in the feed industry may cause you. And if you have any tips or you have any suggestions, please let us know. We'd be glad to hear from you. Thank you.